What is going on, YouTube? This is Jim back with another early review slash first look. I know I took a lot of flack when I said review last time and the game just came out. Anyways, today we're going to be taking a look at Totally Reliable Delivery Service. This is such a charming game from the guys at Tiny Build. You probably know them from Hello Neighbor, among other games. This definitely follows that ragdoll style of gameplay that I absolutely love in games like Gang Beasts and in games like Human Fall Flat, where you are very ragdolly. You control each of your arms independently and you can lift your arms up over your head. In this experience, you are a delivery man in this bleak post-apocalyptic future world in which people rely on you to deliver packages. Now, what really sets this game apart from Human Fall Flat is that it is an open world experience. There is an entire town, and I'll show the map towards the end of this video. There is an entire town of things to see and do. There's other islands to get to, and there are quests strewn about everywhere. All you have to do is hobble your little fat feet or get in a vehicle and go over to one of these handy dandy delivery kiosks, pull the lever, and in front of you will spawn what you need to get the job done. Sometimes there are things like forklifts or helicopters or cars or different types of vehicles that require you to grab on, and the controls are intentionally very bad. In this particular vehicle, your left analog stick moves the vehicle and turns it and gives it acceleration. The right analog stick raises and lowers the actual forklift portion of this vehicle. I couldn't figure out how to get it on, so I had to just kind of kick it on. You get ranked based on a litany of factors, and you are basically tasked with delivering packages to these various receptacles throughout the city. So you will get a score turned basically on the condition of the package, and you're going to get some money, which can be used later on. But the reality is you're going to have so much fun with this, you're not going to care about that other stuff. There is a really nice customization element to this game, which I will show at the end of this video. So there's a lot of features you can change on how your character looks. As you saw there, missions are repeatable, so if you really liked one, you could do it again. I was trying to activate a second mission. I didn't realize at the time you actually had to cancel the first. So you can go to the menu there and cancel the previous delivery, and then you can activate new ones. And you get some really cool vehicles, like a helicopter. And the controls, like I said, aren't that great. Now, critically, I think we could critique this game for a couple things. First of all, it runs phenomenally smooth. I am running a 2080 Ti. My computer's a monster. I suspect it would run okay on the Xbox One X. If anybody's played the console version, just leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on that performance. I rate it to something like Human Fall Flat, which definitely had a lot of hiccuping. Gang Beasts ran surprisingly well on my PlayStation 4 Pro, but I feel like these games have so much physics going on in the background that they do these hitching, you'll see hitches where like everything just pauses very briefly. And I feel like it has a lot to do with all this processing in the background. Now, this game is incredibly pretty. It's very colorful, very, very vibrant world. I think the textures and the kind of aesthetic of the world look and really play into the part of this like whimsical experience. There is a lot of pop-in though, a significant amount, but I think you're going to have so much fun with this game. I don't really think you're going to care too much about that. And this is definitely one of those experiences that to me is a phenomenal party game. It does support 4-player. So I think this would be a phenomenal game to play with your buddies and to kind of create hijinks together and trying to navigate through this world. I think that is where this game really has a lot of charm. And again, drawing to my experience playing through Human Fall Flat, a really good friend of mine, Ben, came over a long time ago and we got through 4 or 5 missions and we solved them in ways the game didn't necessarily expect us to, because we kind of like sacrificed each other in the sake of progress. I feel like you could do a lot of that here. I think this would be a great game to stream and just have a lot of fun with your buddies on and just be a complete goober with. So I'm excited for that. So as you go around the city, you're going to find these various missions to partake in, and they are scattered everywhere. You don't have to look very far to find a mission, to grab, to do some sort of delivery. You can almost think of each of these missions in a way kind of as like small tutorials, because it's teaching you some new mechanic of how a vehicle works, or some element to how kind of the physics reacts to the universe. It does have a built-in, baked-in achievement system, which as you complete more missions will grant you new things. Like you just saw there, I unlocked facial hair. You'll unlock how to change your shirts. You'll unlock this thing or that thing. So there's definitely a lot of things you can unlock, and there's a lot of new things that you could, progress through. So I feel like this game does have some sense of replayability, just in the fact that it is fun to make a dopey-looking delivery guy and to kind of have fun with what, for me, I mean, I was just talking to myself and role-playing and making a lot of like really goofy jokes and just having a lot of fun with this. The boxes are just hysterically that like they're fragile and you're just knocking them all over the place with like no disregard whatsoever. No regard rather for anything that you're doing. It's funny that the vehicles are all controlled by a joystick, and then you have this handle on the front of your cart so that you don't fly off, which is kind of nice. The game, as I said, the physics sometimes does get in its own way. This little tripod kind of vehicle that I'm using here, for example, barely turns at all. It wants to flip over almost instantly, which is hysterical. You do see that there are some other like automated vehicles in here. There are airplanes that fly around. There are boats that fly around. There are a lot of environmental hazards. You'll see in a minute there's a log roll that comes down this hill, which I didn't understand at the time what happened to my car, but I realized later that it was a log that just like destroyed it, which I thought was really funny. And there's a lot of things that you'll unlock, like progression-wise, in terms of like, oh, there's like, for example, right there, there's nothing on that ski lift now, but later on, when you get up to that resort, you'll unlock that piece. So you're kind of exploring in a sense and building up the city a little bit as you play. You don't have to worry about it too much, though. As I said, most missions will give you all of the things that you need in order to be successful. There's not really any sense of like, oh, this, I can't beat this right now because I haven't leveled up or like grinded or anything like that. And I really appreciate this open world element to that. So drawing in a comparison to Human Fall Flat, where each thing was its own little instance area, they were all very themed areas, but you couldn't really explore much outside of that area. And they put a lot of barriers around your progression in terms of walls or tunnels or hallways that really forced you through the map. Here, it's really up to you how you want to do this. So for example, even though that this little trike kind of truck thing spawned next to my package, I could transition to that delivery truck, to the buggy. I just passed the cannon. There's a boat. There's the helicopter I used before. I could hoof it up myself. There's a lot of different ways to navigate around this world, and I really appreciate that it's giving you a lot of freedom in the best way that you feel how to kind of explore the world. So I do like that a lot. And I also like that, here's that log coming up. I don't think I realized it hit my car until later. And I was just like, what happened to my car? So, I mean, there's a truck up there on the hill. There's a little buggy. You see, like, for example, there's that ramp over there. You could actually drive over the ramp, and there are these like achievements to get for doing stunts or being in places you're not supposed to be. Not you're supposed to be, but creative ways to get somewhere. So like if you take that car and you ramp over the, you ramp over that thing, you unlock an achievement for that, which will give you some sort of cosmetic or some sort of like progression that, it's kind of a sort of a collect-a-thon, but it's more like, think of like trick jumps in like a Grand Theft Auto game where they're out there. You kind of got to find them. Some of them make sense. Some of them I think are kind of more meant for you to explore and find on your own. And I like that. I feel that more than anything else, that open world element really does sell this game significantly to me. So I really recommend this game. I think it's really a lot of fun. There's a hot air balloon, which, yes, you can get in, which is absolutely hysterical. I realized at the end of this particular mission and wrapping up my video here that I was tired of driving. I was just going to drag it in myself. So very oddly, I do this weird over-the-shoulder 360 no-scope grabbing of this box, and I just hoof it in manually. You'll see very briefly at the end, I skim through some of the character customizations, and so you can kind of get a little feel for what that's like. But I do recommend this game. It's really, really a lot of fun. Leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this game and kind of this genre. We're starting to see a lot more of these ragdoll games. I think this is a very fun experience, and it's a game that I definitely will keep coming back to time and time again for little doses. I suspect, though, playing with my friends in particular is going to make it infinitely more fun. I can't wait till the guys get on a little bit later. I guess I'll mention this in closing. There is some DLC available if you want to get that unlocks a couple new areas and unlocks some of the new cosmetics. It's totally optional. It doesn't really impact your gameplay or your experience at all. But have fun with this game. Check it out. It's really a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this ringing endorsement. Thank you so much for watching. Please be safe out there. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.